Okay, I think we're live. Hey, tastemakers. Hope you guys are well. And yeah, if you hear some noise in the background, that would be my laundry. So I do apologize for that. Yeah, I'm still doing my evening chores. But yeah, welcome to the Tastemakers Initiative. This is literally our first assembly stream, and I felt it was necessary because we have gotten to a point that you know we're starting to grow. The memberships are starting to grow, and I feel like a lot of you guys may not know exactly why you're here and what you're even supporting, really and truly. So I felt like a stream was needed to kind of clarify a couple of things. It will be archived so that any future members can always refer back to the stream. It's only going to be for 30 minutes. It's just going to give a quick rundown of what is going on here with the memberships, what it means to be a tastemaker, and also what Ketchup Court is about. So I want to just say first and foremost, yeah, I believe I can say with definitive definitive I don't know what word to use. I don't know what adjective to use to kind of describe my certainty, but I would believe that most of you guys are here because you like depth. You like what I do out there, and like take the time to break down these trials on my live streams, on my recaps, whatever it might be. You guys have seen some kind of value from that and has been supporting, and that's why you have decided to support. So you don't just see trials as entertainment. You actually believe that they do matter on a much deeper level. And whatever reasons why you love those trials, great. Like, it's all appreciated. Like, because over here we love depth, we love bringing clarity to a situation, we love making it so that it can be accessible for anyone to just come in and understand what is going on in for a particular trial. So that's pretty much it. You are here because you want depth. So before I do go on to explain, or at least give an idea what the tiers are, because I will do that later, I want to go and give a brief history of like, what Ketchup Court and how it even came to be. Because this channel was not called Ketchup Court, and I'll be very honest, Ketchup Court didn't even exist. The idea, anything to do with recaps or anything like that, it didn't exist when I first started. The one case that brought me into YouTube, well, let me say brought me back, because I used to do YouTube for music reviews as well as sports content, like football content, soccer, if you're in the state, considering most of you guys would be in the state. That's what I used to do on YouTube, and I gave it up in 2021. I just stopped producing after I had psychosis. I just couldn't. Yeah, it was a dark point in my life, and I just thought, okay, cool, let me plan my life and just go to law school like I intended. Since DJing is not going to be my life, that was the plan. Debbie Heard happened, and that plan was like, hold up, what is going on here? That was what kind of got me to not only watch trials, because I have seen trials in the past. I think the OJ case was probably the one trial, and also Jodi Arias. I've seen trials. It's just this one caught my eye primarily because of the fact that after the verdict was rendered and Amber Heard was found to have been defaming Depp, and she was ordered to pay a certain amount. After all that was decided, I saw something interesting happen, and that was how the media were handling the stories. And I thought, oh, you have the cheek. We all saw it. Like, this was live. This was 23 days live stream. How on earth are you going to have the balls to go out and say what we saw, what we got to witness for those 23 days were just a figment or something of our imaginations, and we got it wrong, and we know the details. So what are you talking about? As I continue to see how the mainstream media was like, twisting all of this and then doing all of that, that's when I had the idea. Such like, I'm tired. I know how to edit. I've been editing all my life. I know how to put together a narrative. Not really difficult. So let me just do a docuseries. That was the intention. I started. I made my channel. It was called Dr. Hines Everton because I was commenting a lot on the trial and I was parodying one of the doctors, I forgot his name, but he was that guy that went like I don't know. You probably know what I'm referring to, but I was parodying him, calling myself Dr. Heinz Difference, and pretty much got on here. I practiced, trying to I just saw it as practice because I wanted to prepare for the docuseries. After the docuseries, I was like, okay, I need to, that's pretty much it. So when I saw cases like Courtney Clenny, I'll be very honest, it moved me, but I didn't really know what direction I was gonna go in terms of covering the trial or anything like that. So, but I was like, I'm releasing a docuseries. I need to practice. Cool. Just keep doing it. Just keep practicing. Just keep editing these videos, putting together these videos. The docuseries is the goal. And I kept doing that. I came across Harry Jacobs' trial. Started it was all to inform the docuseries. Then the docuseries hit, right? Finished it. Great reception, in my opinion. Probably the best work I've done in my entire life. It was everything. It was so raw. So I mean, I can watch it back, and I'm proud. I'm really proud of that work. And that was it for me. Really and truly, if I'm being completely honest, this was the moment I was going to be like, I'm done. Did what I needed to do. Let's focus on law school. That was the aim. That was pretty much a thought. Jonathan Majors hit. The same thing happened again. And this one hit around... When this happened, right? It hit around... as I was preparing to release for the docuseries. That's when Jonathan Majors happened. What turned out to be something that was supposed to be a training exercise, I'm gonna keep doing, I'm just gonna keep editing, etc., turned out to be something that I defined this channel, because I was like, I saw the issue. I saw a massive issue. I saw that nobody had access to that trial regardless, because it's in New York. They don't do cameras, etc. So the media could say whatever they want, and they did. Even the interviews that they were doing. I think if we didn't have what's her name, Danny Does Law, that was going to the courtroom, and she came onto the channel, we done a live stream, she was just giving facts. If that didn't happen, Ketchup Court would not exist. That's a fact, because it was from that moment that I was like, I need to continue with Ketchup. I just need to continue. I didn't know where I was gonna go, because it was never my plan to even go down this route. I just wanted to go to law school. I just wanted to go and do law and practice in peace, basically. The main thing that was bothering me was just the idea. I just don't like being gaslit. I know what the record said. I know what I saw with my own eyes, and I can prove with what I saw with my own eyes, because you cannot deny what if somebody is going to go into the record, they're going to find that there's no inconsistency. If someone is going to go watch a particular clip, they're going to find that there's no inconsistency. So I know that was powerful enough. I don't care if someone cares. I just know that that record was preserved, and that singular moment led me to kind of repackage everything, and I started a second channel called Ketchup Court. Really, a great friend of mine, amazing person, Rosalind Duke. She designed the logo for me. Pitched her the idea. She got it instantly. She just I don't. It's like a superpower. She just knew exactly what I needed, and yeah, she just did it for me. And yeah, that was it. Ketchup Court was born. It was a second channel. I was gonna like keep this channel going, kind of doing deep dives on here. That was the raw plan. Because I'm being honest, I did not know where this was gonna go. So I started doing live to kind of like look at to look at cases like Robert Teller's, just to document. It wasn't necessarily to the idea wasn't that I was going to how do I put it? When I was documenting trials on there, it was just more of I need to go live, break this down to a tiny chunk, like kind of act like a reporter, because again, I did not know what I was going to do. I just knew that I needed to always preserve the record to avoid future narrative fractures or narrative spins. And it honestly, that channel I just gave up. I just thought, nah, I can't do this consistently. I like something is missing. Something is missing. And then I had psychosis again, and I was in hospital. And then from there, after getting out of hospital, I was in a moment where I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna quit. I don't think that I can actually bring anything to this space. I was watching trials to even, get into these things. This was 2024, just for reference. So this was 2025. 2024 was when I had the psychosis around September. Ketchup Court started on May 2024, of course. Ketchup Court started then. I linked up with Rosalind Duke again. We were talking about Laura Owens, the famous can I call it famous? But this was when the what's her name, Curious K. They you may have heard of her because of the whole Karen Reed trial, and she was giving weird opinions. But nonetheless, it was all happening there, and I tried to pretty much continue on with my case coverage. I met Broken Baker there as well because he tuned in to watch me break down what was happening with the Robert Teller's case, and that was it. So when I had the issue with psychosis and all of that, I was back in limbo. I was watching trials to just like try and capture my love for it again. I watched Velazzo. I missed Monica Cementilli, so that was a moment that I was like, oh, it's 24 days. I miss ASAP Rocky case. I miss so many cases. And I was like, I can't keep doing this. If I want to do this, then I can't keep missing these cases. And I was going to quit, honestly. Then the Karen Reed retrial came around, and I watched the first trial. I really wanted to cover the first trial, but I didn't know what I could bring to the table. I didn't know where I was going. So when the retrial came around, I was like, I need to accept. Fine, Ketchup Court is, you're no longer streaming on that channel, so just accept. Go back to the Heinz channel, just stream. Just go there and stream. So for the record, this channel was still called Dr. Heinz at the time. So went back, streamed the Karen Reed trial. From there, I just didn't enjoy it. I don't know what was happening. I just knew what I just knew that wasn't a way I was going to do it. Then after that, I was like, I'm gonna leave it behind. I covered this case. I'm just gonna let it be. So I think I went to Andrea and asked for an interview. Like, hey, do you want to link up again? She was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And we had already talked about Ashley Benefield trial when I wanted to talk about domestic violence. I just knew that I like having discussions. I just knew that I do like covering cases. Direction was just what I was lacking. And this was where, from that stream, I met Trial Channel, amazing person. And this is literally where Ketchup Court was like, I knew what I wanted to do from now on. I just knew. After that stream with Andrea, I don't know what happened. I don't know what kind of clarity I had at that moment. I just said, I'm going to do recaps. That's it. I'm just like, I'm going to do it. I just told her that, and she was like, yeah, good luck. Like, I hope it works out well for you. And that was it. I started doing recaps. Still no members only product, by the way. Still nothing to do with members only, etc. So I say all of that to say that in all that moment, in all these things happening, I went on a stream covering Nicholas Cassody's case. I went on a stream and I accidentally, not accidentally, but I was making some memory. I had memory issues. So I was like, okay, let me actually give my notes so that people know that what the record was. That was it. And then the trial report was born from that moment, because what became something that was only supposed to be a reference point so that people can go and get a timestamp and go check it, just because I just couldn't remember on the spot. But later on, I started saying, oh shoot, I realized at that point, this was around November, around that time. I think it was when I spoke with Emily C, and we were doing our interview. That's when I was like, after that interview, I really had to sit back, because I was like, why would she wanna interview me? My channel is not even performing well. Like, I wasn't really getting any views, and I'm still not getting views. Let's just be straight. I'm still not getting that. But I was like, why would she want to do that if she, and then I had to sit with that. I wasn't open about that with anyone. It was just a thought that I had to sit with, and just had to decide exactly what I was doing this for. And then I started to see the value of the trial reports that I was doing. I was like, holy crap, this can actually help people, and not just content creators. I was like, holy crap, I've actually made a way in which people can actually get a structured transcript. Some is close. I tested it. I sent it to a lot of the lawyers that I know. I'm like, hey, does this actually capture a moment? What's wrong with this? Tested it. And it's finally, at the point it's finally ready, so that I can actually go out and go to the courtroom and actually have a system in which I can actually capture accurately as possible, because that's the idea. I want to bring clarity to these cases, so that whenever there is a media narrative, people know that they can come here and they can literally know, hey, that could be BS, because the record here, and we can trust him because he actually does show the reference points that we can all go and check for the record. That was it. So that's literally why this place exists. That is to bring clarity, and civic clarity, to be honest, is to show how the mechanics of trials actually work from someone who isn't really, it's just like you. It's just like you and me. It's like, I'm not a lawyer. I want to be, but they have their function, and I think that they do a great job. But I also believe that what I have to offer is not only the analysis that I do, which, to be honest, it's take or leave it, but is those trial reports. I really believe that those are probably the most valuable thing that I can give to this space, somewhere in which, if you have missed the case or something like that, you have access right there. If you never heard of a case and you know that there's a lot of opinions about it, you have access right there. So that now, that's how we got here. That's the history. So the tiers, the memberships, all of this was happening. The members, while all that history was happening, right, there was only 2 members that I had. It was random girl. I remember vividly because she was my mother at the time, and we had communications on Discord, and she was always keeping me going, etc. But there was also another member that's signed up on Ketchup, on when I make Ketchup Court, and like literally the real OGs, like on tier 2, probably like on the Tastemaker tier. And he or she, I don't know who they are, but it's just been supporting. And these guys only had early access and uncut interviews that I could supply from Dev V Heard, and that's it. Nothing for long time. And I just felt like I owed these guys the world because they've been supporting without receiving anything. And I knew that this part had to be the most valuable one, the one that's the most worth it, at least for me. I literally couldn't do this stream if I didn't feel like, yeah, I've got it. I really think that this could be valuable for anyone that wants to join and really feel like they're getting their money's worth, whatever that might be. So back it was called Heinz Hall, like now it's called Tastemaker, and we have 3 tiers now, and the 3rd tier only came about because of everything that was happening, just recently, like probably in January. So, and it was only because I had an idea that, hey, I need to start actually showing my process in a way. So now I had this urge to keep going because just to orient myself, I had this urge to keep going because clarity does matter to what I do, and it's time that I give it to you guys. So every tier, no matter which one it is, it's not a ranking. It is not something I had to make this membership so that it reflects every value that I hold. I don't put anyone above or lower to anyone. I treat a lot of people the same way, like, but we also have to account for, like, if we have friendships, like, you can be a member and we can still be friends, be cool, and it wouldn't matter which tier you want. That's the main idea that I want to get at. The tier is not something that is a ranking or anything. It's literally built just so that you can receive what you want. If you want, no matter what you want, no matter what you pay, you are getting what you want. So if you are a Condiment Island member, it's just you are closer to the process. That's it. You get trial rooms, the Heinz trial room. Every stream that we do for the Condiment Island is all because you want to have that experience. That's what I designed it as. It's just for experience. All these streams are removed after it's done. There's no archive of it. It's just the experience. This include freshly squeezed, which is a preview stream for deep dives that I do. So that will be the performance of innocence deep dive, the case study, the character study. Sorry, that one we'll preview that. We'll all chill, watch it. After it's done, it's removed after a couple of days. That's everything in the trial room is temporal. Basically, you also get early access, and yeah, like I said, every trial monitoring streams, there are ongoing trials as well as retrospective streams, like we've been doing with the Monica Cemetery case. I haven't seen these cases, so that's the only difference. You're watching it with me as I watch it unfold. I'll do a live analysis there, similar to what I do on Source and Order, but you get to see it live. We all get to enjoy this moment. We all get to feel like we are in a courtroom, as if, because let's be honest, it's difficult to get to a court. So I'm trying to replicate that experience. So that's the Condiment Island. We're kind of on our own island, getting a taste for what it's like to be in the courtroom. So, Tastemaker tier, that's tier 2. This is for members who just wants to participate a bit more with the with the channel. This is where Heinz Courtroom lives, and this is where the archiving actually starts. So if we ever do a Heinz Courtroom, you will get to see what was added or subtracted to a deep dive that I do. So this will be the Labyrinth docuseries that I've done. So if that was Dead v Heard, you get to see everything that was kept in or was removed. We spend like however long it would take, like usually an hour. It will be around an hour, 2 hours, but basically we just spend that time, and I will review the clips that I had to remove. I will review the exhibits. Some of it, I will even go into some of the angles I wanted to explore for these deep dives, but I couldn't. This is something I'm going to be doing with Performance of Innocence as well, because I'm currently doing a Laura Owens deep dive. I'll be doing that for the future. I test before I could do this. I was testing a lot. I was experimenting a lot. So before I could actually settle and see what was working, what was not. So I will be doing the courtroom, and I'll be going through the Clay and Eckerd one and going back and to go through what was left out of that deep dive. I am also planning a Karen Reed Heinz Labyrinth, so that will be also be in the courtroom after. All of these will be live streams, just to make it clear, and they'll all be archived. Unlike what's happening with the trial room, this one does get archived. Same thing with Access, that also gets archived. So in the courtroom, you will also see the uncut interviews. We'll go live again. We watch the interviews. You see it uncut. You could get to ask me, hey, why did you ask her that question, or why did you ask him that question? I would have loved to see you ask this. Just that's the idea of the courtroom. You get to participate. You get to be part of the process. Well, yeah, participate basically. I would say, and you also get to vote for guests that might be on the next debrief stream, on the next Heinz Labyrinth deep dive, or the Performance of Innocence, because I am planning to bring more guests into the deep dives that I do. I will have to find a way to control it for Performance of Innocence, because character studies, I want to see how I could handle that, because it's very easy to bring someone in for a case study, but I've never done character study before, where I'm just focusing on one person. I've never done it before, so I need to see how I want to approach that. But definitely I am planning to bring guests. And for the Access tier, this is for people that are maybe curious about how the mechanics on how all this work. I know I'm over time by a minute. I'm wrapping up now. But yeah, For the access tier, this is for people that are just curious about how the mechanics of the channel works and wants a bit more deeper understanding. This is where I do my trial literature streams, and this is why I made it, because I am still learning how to be trial literate. I'm still reading my books. I'm still learning about how the law works. I'm still learning about the philosophy of law. So if you want to be part of this process and want to learn about it as well, like with me, sure, jump in. we can read the books together. We can do all those things together. Because end of the day, my goal is to sharpen my skills to a level that I know I can spot things, bring it out, that would bring more and more clarity to a case. Because I believe the more is stripped down, the less sweeping narratives there is. I'm not trying to change anyone's minds. I don't think that's possible. When someone, we have seen it. I know most of you have watched cases where it's so one-sided, like Karen Reed, for example, or Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, or even I think the one case that I remember being so obviously one-sided was flipping neck. I think Ashley Benefield has that effect as well, because some people think that she actually was abused. End of the day, people are not going to change their minds. My goal is not to change people's minds. It's just to make sure that the record is as clean as possible, so that sometimes you might meet someone that actually does say, "Oh, I did not consider that. Oh, this has actually changed my thinking a little bit. I didn't know these things exist." I've seen that a lot actually on my streams, which makes me really happy when I get that, because I feel so validated. But there are some moments that I've done on my source and order streams that I'm like, someone says, "Oh, I didn't notice all this." I think the first time it happened was on a Depp v. Heard Labyrinth, when we were going through part 2. I think it was part 2B. Look, that Labyrinth, structurally it was a mess. I had to fix up. I knew if I wanted to keep doing this, I had to fix up, but I digress. I think it was part 2B, and someone came in and they were not new to the case. They knew about the case, but they were like, "I did not know this information existed. I just didn't know that this was part of the case." They just knew what they saw on the trial, or whatever they may have watched it on. So nonetheless, I'm doing the access tier, basically the legal lab, which is where the Heinz legal lab lives, is where I do trial literacy sessions, where I go and I learn more about the process that I'm commenting on. I confront my biases. I don't know what word to use, but this is just where I kind of sharpen my skills to also prepare for law school, because I could have taken it alone and just go straight into the education now, and and start practicing here before moving to the States, because I do intend to be in the States, but I want to practice here first. I could have done that and be done within 2 or 3 years, but not only funds do I have to worry about funds, but I do think that there could be there is a real potential for this to actually fund my way into law school. That's time. Okay, so that's 5 minutes. And the last thing is also theory briefs, and this is where I will take a moment from a case. Let's say let's use Karen Reed, for example. When Judge Canoni was making those decisions, that seemed a bit weird. I would go at this point, try to find related cases, and then I would try to use as much cases as possible to try and give an idea of why that decision may have been made, why she's behaving like this, what it could possibly be. Again, it's just more of to try and learn more about the process, to try and learn more about how this whole thing works, and try to bring a bit of understanding to what's going on. So those are the 2 access products. So yeah, it's just basically where you can join me, like I said, and get the and sharpen your analysis skills as well, and all of the all of these things. So this year I do intend to prepare reports for local cases. I do intend to actually go to court this year. If there are no ongoing trials that are going on that I feel is deserving of coverage, I will actually be going to the court. This ones won't be monitoring streams or anything like that, because to be honest, I only designed this so that it could be live stream mainly. So it's live stream focused, but there will be streams like when we do meet again with the Tastemakers Initiative stream. I will aim to pick a case that I've covered locally that I think this is actually worth something, and we can talk about it live. We can break it down. I will give the report, the actual structure of it, etc. And this is going to be like every 3 to 6 months. So again, like I said, why are we here for Ketchup Court? And it's because I really believe that the media, they actually are predators. I actually believe that they prey on the ignorance of the general masses. They know that transcripts are expensive. They know that coverage is also scarce, especially when it comes to trials that are not being streamed. I got to see this literally with the Diddy trial. If it wasn't for, and this guy inspires me a lot. Matthew, I forgot his name. This guy inspires me, but I forgot his name. But Inner City Press, that guy revenant, because that guy was literally in court tweeting as it was going on. Like it just was brilliant. Like and he was, what he did was so amazing. So but anyway, you don't get that all the time, and they know that. So imagine if they're covering a high profile case and it's just based on newspapers. I know I'm fighting a hot-peel battle, but I really don't give a damn. I know as long as I just keep populating, that is what's going to make a difference. It's not going to be me shouting, saying, hey, they're doing something bad. It's literally just going to make a difference because the record is going to be undeniable, and I will get better with it as I continue to do it. They also know that traveling is also costly. They also know that trial streams, even if you watch it, and I got to learn this with Debbie Heard, even if you watch it, they know that it's costly. So they know that it's lengthy. So they will do their best to make sure that that you feel that length in how they are making these statements, that you're just going to go back into your cognition. You're not going to go and double check. You're not, and it's mainly for those people that just didn't watch, to just hit at them, because they know that they're not going to go watch a 23 days 8-hour streams daily. They are just not going to do it. So that's, and they know that most people, they just know that most people just don't watch those streams. So that everything that I'm doing on this channel, Ketchup Court, memberships, everything that I'm doing with the website, the repositories, everything is to attack every single one of them. They believe that transcripts are expensive. Cool. Here is a free alternative. It's structured. I have been making reports for the best part of my life, like with my previous jobs. This is nothing. I just have to be able to translate it to legal cases. They believe that coverage is scarce. Cool. I'll just cover everything. I'll just cover what's relevant and what I know is going to have a structural impact. So does not faze me at all. They know that traveling is costly. I just live here. I will start local when I get enough money. They know that trial streams are lengthy. Recaps exist, and that's what I do. So as long as I focus and I have found a way to create a more varied style of recaps. So it's not just full trial recaps. I am going to expand, because I look back on my catalog and I realized that there are some recaps that could have been synthesized a lot more, that they didn't need to be full trial recaps. I could have still extracted a lot of information without having to have it be the whole trial. Not everything deserves that. So I have created like a different style of recaps, and I'm going to be releasing it as I continue to cover more cases that I believe is going to have some form of an impact. But yeah, it's just I just that's pretty much it. I just really believe that everyone should know the facts. Everyone needs to know the facts. Everyone deserve to know what is important, and they don't deserve to be looking at sweeping narratives, people giving their personal opinions, which is fine. You can always give your personal opinions, but I think it's a duty to always refer to the record, and that is something that is always missing when I am looking at cases that is impactful. Like, they always seem to miss in the record, and the people that follow me, the people that I follow, the people that I do talk to and about these cases and really admire, they always have that consistent theme, that one thing in common, and that is they always go back to, hey, this is the facts, this is the evidence. Those are the people that I had in mind when I was designing all of this. And if that is you, then you are 100% in the right place. That is what the Tastemakers is about. This is the Tastemakers initiative, where I just give an overview of what's going on. It is 45 minutes. To be honest, I did write down 45 minutes max. But then I changed it to 30 minutes max last minute. But anyway, that's it. That's pretty much it. I have a feeling a lot of you guys are going to watch it on the replay, which is fine. If you are a new member, this is the stream to start from. You know what the mission is. You know what I intend to do on here, and yeah, I appreciate every single support that I do receive. I probably shouldn't say this, but 100%, always support what you can. If it's too costly to keep being a member, honestly, don't feel guilty to cancel your membership. Or if you just don't identify with it anymore, or you, for whatever reason, just want to cancel, it's actually okay. 100% is actually okay. I really appreciate the support that I received while you were here. It's actually okay to whatever you choose to do, because I know that times can get difficult, but if you do support, it's greatly appreciated. 100% is greatly appreciated, and I do hope that what we are doing here, that you do identify with it in some way, in some form, because it is here to stay. I'm glad that I finally found my, I don't like the phrase North Star, I guess, but I'm glad I finally found my footing in this, because I think it took me a while to really understand what I wanted to bring into this space, and I'm glad that you guys are here. I take a lot of inspiration from Marvel, so that's what informs Ketchup Man, and one day we will talk about that when we next assemble. But for now, this is pretty much the stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you guys have a great day. Hopefully, this has brought a lot of clarity to some of the questions that you guys may have had, or brought a lot of clarity to understanding how each of the tiers work, because I know that during my experimentation there may have been some confusion along the way, and it's going to happen, and I feel like this is kind of the evaluating stage, and it's time to clear the air. So hopefully I did that. If you do have any questions, let me know in the comment section, and I'll be very happy to answer those questions Yeah, like you, yeah. So whatever it might be, take good care of yourself. Have It's evening over here, so good evening if you are in the UK. But if you are in the States, it's probably afternoon there, or any part of the world that you're in, morning, night, whatever it might be. Have a great day. I will see you guys on the next one. I think just source an order tomorrow, and there will be another ongoing trial with query revisions that we are going to cover. So yeah, I can't wait for that. Anyway, let's moving on. Hopefully, I'll see you on the next, on we can convene again. I will definitely put the stream information out in the community post. Have a great evening.